Hello, folks. I'm Jeffrey Darty, your friendly neighborhood Christian whistleblower, bringing you the gospel truth as often as possible. And I'm here today, about 7 o'clock on Saturday night, to show you that the Hurricane Irma radar mystery has been solved. I came to you late last night or early this morning, wondering how in the world this storm wasn't showing up on radar. And there's a lot of things on YouTube about it. And the problem was when you look at radar like this, and you can see all of these clouds, and you can see all of this great big huge storm. And when you're looking at radar like this, where you can see the big huge storm, and yet when you looked at this radar of this type up here, you couldn't see anything. And the reason why, and I knew I didn't want to go all full-blown conspiracy theory on it because I thought there might be a simple answer, and it turns out there is. And I just reasoned this out by myself. Obviously, if you look at these, this is a cutoff of the edge of the radar. So this radar, for whatever reason, is only extending down this far. So you can obviously see, over half of that hurricane right there. So that's Irma, over half of her showing. And the only reason we don't see the rest of it is not because it doesn't exist, not because it's being halfway generated by HAARP now, and you only see half of it, not because it's the strangest looking hurricane in history, but simply because of the cutoff of that radar sweep. You don't see the entirety of the storm. So that radar is only going down to about here. So it's just the range of the radar sweep, where, of course, these are satellite imagery, and it's able to take in the whole totality of the picture. So you can see your whole hurricane here, and then when you get up to this Doppler radar, which is measuring really precipitation more than clouds, now you can see there's precipitation all in it. So it's showing up, and the reason it's cut off is because that's just the edge of the radar sweep. So we have to be very careful sometimes. That's why I was so careful with my wording when I came to you earlier, because I knew I couldn't figure it out. It seemed very, very weird to me. It bothered me. And yet at the same time, I knew there was a possibility of I just wasn't getting, just wasn't seeing, just wasn't understanding. And I know some of you were trying to help me, saying, "Oh, Jeff, this one here, the Doppler just measures precipitation." But I still couldn't, because I knew that a hurricane would look like this, that there would be precipitation all the way through it. And I wasn't seeing any of that. So that's what was throwing me off. So once again, folks, when you see this type of radar imagery, this is satellite radar imagery. See, it even says satellite. This is taken from orbit. Big picture of the entirety of the hurricane. Of course, this one in color, even bigger picture, prettier picture. So you can see it's now moved off Cuba and it's heading over this way. So the reason why you can't see all of this, on this type of radar is because this is Doppler and it sweeps, and it's got a certain range. It's not a panoramic shot from orbit. So this is just the edge of the radar. So contrary to what you may hear, it looks like Irma definitely is real. Irma is not a false flag. Irma is a real storm. And you just have to understand what you're looking at and understand the limitations of the geography of the radar. Doppler evidently has a certain range, certain effectiveness range, and we're seeing here the edge of this Doppler radar effectiveness. So there you go. Mystery solved. It's not a false flag. The storm really is there, and it's just a misunderstanding of the geographical nature and limitations of radar that has caused many people to go off the deep end and say, wait a minute, how come I can't see all of this on the radar? It's plainly right there. NASA must be painting in these pictures. NASA must be photoshopping. Now, I'm not saying that's completely outside the realm of possibility, but there's a reason why you couldn't see all that on this, because again, just the sweep of the radar. So let's be careful. Let's be rational. Let's be reasonable. Let's be level-headed. Now, that's not to say that there's no weather manipulation. Don't misquote me. Don't mischaracterize me. I'm just saying in this situation, it was a result of misapplication and misunderstandings of the geographical nature and limitations of the Doppler radar. So, Irma hurricane mystery solved. Irma radar solved. Irma not false flag. Now we understand the nature of the various types of radar. And yes, Irma is there. It is real. And I'll be leaving my NCK bunker, aka my mobile home. Of course, you know, I downsized to try to put as much into this program, this channel, as I can. And I'll be going to my mother's house, which is over 30 feet above sea level, which in Florida is like a mountain. So I'll go there tomorrow after my show with Wayne Steiger. That'll be Not Your Normal Sunday Morning Show tomorrow, 9 a.m. Eastern, from the center of the hurricane zone. I mean, by 9 o'clock tomorrow, if you look at this one shows some times. There's one on here somewhere that shows some times. Yeah, by 5 p.m. today, that's about here, and that's about right. This shows 2 p.m. tomorrow. We'll have been already off the air by then. But if the eye is here at 2 p.m., that means that big part of the band, the outer band, is going to be up near us. So by the time we're on at 9, you know, it's going to be, we're going to be in a pretty good path of that hurricane. So there you go, folks. Irma radar mystery solved. I'm going to come back probably with at least one, maybe two more shows here this evening. And then tomorrow morning, 9 a.m., Not Your Normal Sunday program with Wayne Steiger. And then I will head for the hill, the 30-foot plus sea level of my mother's home here locally, and we'll write it out there. If we do get severe power outages that are going to be extended, I will probably hop in my car and head for my buddy's house in Nashville, but we'll see how things work out. I'm Jeffrey Daugherty, your friendly neighborhood Christian whistleblower. This has been the gospel truth about the Irma radar situation. Now we know. Now we can share that with people. And now we don't have to worry about creating a new conspiracy theory. I'm Jeffrey Daugherty, telling you that Irma is not a false flag, telling you that Irma does show up on radar, and explaining to you why and how it was easy for us to question. And it's all right to question, and it's best to question, but not to just jump off into some crazy conspiracy theory just because we don't understand things. Because sometimes, as was the case here, we just simply didn't understand the nature and limitations of this hurricane, so of this radar. So there you go. Jeffrey Daugherty saluting those of you that are here seeking after truth. You don't have original sin within. You've got the spark of divinity. So be good to yourself, be good to your neighbors, and the whole world will know that we are disciples of the Christ because we are excellent to each other.